Morteza Mehrzadselakjani is an Iranian volleyball player born in 1987 as the first child of the family and who plays in the national sitting volleyball team of Mes Shahr Babak. At 247 centimeters tall, he is known as the tallest man in Iran and the second tallest man in the world. He was able to win 2 gold medals and the Golden Ball for the best player in the world in 2022 at the 2016 Rio and 2020 Tokyo Paralympics, and is currently a member of the Iran men's national sitting volleyball team. Mehrzad was born with a rare medical condition called acromegaly, which is triggered by excessive growth hormone production in the brain's pituitary gland. So, at the age of 16, he had grown to be over 6 feet and 2 inches. At the age of 15, he had a bicycle accident that caused a serious pelvic fracture, which caused his right leg to stop growing, leaving it about 15 centimeters shorter than his left leg. After the accident, he started to feel depressed and started using a wheelchair, crutches, and a walking stick. His mother died a few years ago, and his father lives separately due to a lack of financial support. Throughout his childhood, he was always a head and neck taller than his classmates, which wasn't that unusual. He also had a pretty normal life and a normal routine, so after his high school, he started working in an aluminum factory and then in a lavish bakery until the age of 15 when everything changed. Like so many individuals well over 2 meters tall, Mehrzad's upbringing was very difficult. He attributes sitting volleyball as the light that saved his life after having a few friends as a child due to his disability. Back in 2011, his talent for volleyball caught the eye of Hadi Rezai, Iran's national head coach, while he was watching a TV program that was talking about unusual and differently able talented people. He quickly got in touch with him and was the one who encouraged and convinced him to play sitting volleyball. His story changed completely in 2013 when he showed his talent for volleyball in the Call for Talents of the Veterans and Disabled Federation. This way, he joined the Callus sitting volleyball team after preliminary training. Now let's see the way seated volleyball is played. Seated volleyball was created in the Netherlands in 1956 as a rehabilitation activity for wounded soldiers and became one of the most popular sports in the Paralympic world, starting with an official men's team at the Games in Arnhem, the Netherlands, 1980, and for women in Athens, Greece, in 2004. A match has a maximum of 5 sets, and each is won by the first team that reaches either 25 points or 15 in the 5th set, so with 2 points difference over the rival. The rules are the same as those used in traditional volleyball, with some small modifications. For example, the court is smaller, 10 meters times 6 meters, and the net is lower, 1.15 meters for the men's category and 1.05 meters for the females. The players must be seated in the main. At least one part of the torso must be in contact with the ground when touching the ball. Athletes can only move around the court by bearing themselves along on their arms while seated. In sitting volleyball, the net hangs at just 1.15 meters above the ground, 1.31 centimeters below Mehrzad's standing height. For this reason, some countries considered his inclusion an advantage, an accusation quickly dismissed by the International Paralympic Committee. Other observers analyzed Mehrzad's participation from a tactical point of view. Greg Walker, the coach of the U.S. sitting volleyball team, said that it was as if Iran saw the good position that Brazil was in with their height. The New York Times newspaper supported that hypothesis, arguing that Iran has carried that burden to the extreme, cultivating Mehrzad over 5 years to counter Anderson Ribas da Silva, Brazil's attacker and blocker extraordinary. In March 2016, he was selected for Iran's national team after practicing at various clubs around Iran and made his debut at the 2016 Summer Paralympics, where he was the match's top scorer with 28 points for Iran in the finals. He once admitted how depressed he felt due to his condition. He also said that he felt like he was locked up in a prison and was afraid to go outside due to his appearance, and such a successful future was beyond his imagination at the time. He also said how sitting volleyball had an immense impact on his life. In 2018, he helped Iran win the 2018 Sitting Volleyball World Championship, securing Iran's first world title in 8 years after a 3-0 victory over defending champions Bosnia and Herzegovina in the finals. After that match, he shared his thoughts in an interview when he said how he was uncertain whether specifically his participation in the game could necessarily inspire other sitting volleyball players, but the thing he noticed was that the sport was dedicated to people with disabilities because it helps draw them out of isolation in society and prove that they could be active in sports. He also said how he wasn't that significant of a person to send a message to anyone, and that the only thing he can say is that we should all be heroes of our lives or world champions of our lives, and that we should start from within if we want any type of change. I bet you don't know this story, but during the honeymoon of Ramadan back in 2018, he went to Samen Al Hojjaj's honeymoon program with his mother, where he talked about the hardships of living with such height, like lack of shoes that can fit, as well as lack of clothes, and similar things that may sound minor but are actually pretty serious. Imagine if you couldn't find a size of clothes and shoes that fit you. It would be pretty uncomfortable and frustrating, right? Anyways, during that honeymoon program, he shared that it was a dream of his to meet famous Iranian football player Ali Karimi. And what were the chances of Ali Karimi seeing that program that night? Well, he did, and was kind enough to go to Morteza after the program and hug him. So the dream of the tallest boy in Iran came true. But that wasn't the only thing Ali did for Morteza. His mother said that Ali had promised to help their financial situation and cover Morteza's medical treatment, and that's still not the end. But he also gave him some cash along with a brand new laptop. In the 2022 Summer Paralympics Sitting Volleyball, Mehrzad won the second gold medal at the Paralympic Games after defeating Bosnia and Herzegovina 3-0 in the semi-finals and Russia 3-1 in the finals with Iran's national team. Mehrzad won 2 straight gold medals at Rio 2016 and Tokyo 2020, and first won the world title at Arnhem 2018. At the 2022 World Paravolley Sitting Volleyball World Championship in Sarajevo, Mehrzad and his teammates clinched another title. For that occasion, he said how it was the second time in the World Championships and that he was very thankful to God that they won it again. He also showed his appreciation for Iranian men's sitting volleyball, saying that it has always been a very powerful team, and he also shared their pain of continuing their streak of victories. We can all agree that he is literally the Tiger Woods and Roger Federer of his sport, for a reason that isn't hard to work out. Mehrzad is a whopping 246 centimeters tall, which is equivalent to 8 feet and 1 inch. To put Mehrzad's incredible frame into perspective, the height of a standard door in Australia is 204 centimeters, and the winning gold medal jump in the men's high jump at the recent Olympics was 237 centimeters. And no wonder, since he's the second tallest living man in the world, behind Turkey's Sultan Kosen. When sitting down on the court, Mehrzad has the highest recorded block reach of 1.96 meters, to go with the highest spike reach of 2.30 meters, which is a real nightmare for other teams. In 2022, he won his second Sitting Volleyball World Championship with Iran's national team in the 2022 Sitting Volleyball World Championship, after a 3-0 victory over Bosnia and Herzegovina in the finals. We're excited to see what the future brings to this talented athlete, and we're certain that the bright path is ahead of him. This brings us to the end of today's video. Make sure to like and subscribe, and don't forget to hit that bell button so you can get notified whenever we post a new video.